Welcome, listeners, to My Fantasy Wife, the weekly sports meets comedy meets marriage podcast, where a husband and wife discuss sports, fantasy leagues, and their impact on pop culture and relationships, including their own. I'm the wife, comedian Blair Postman. Yay! I'm joined by my husband and sports stat expert, Gary Hames. Woohoo! Hi, baby.
Hi, honey.
Also on board is Hot Topics and social media maven, comedian, and pet nurse, Drew Harrison.
Hello.
Hey, Drew.
And rounding things out, sound engineer, comedian, and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
Good Lord.
It was fancy. To never miss our weekly episodes, extras, and more, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher, or go to our website, myfantasywife.com, with links to everything. Find us on Facebook at My Fantasy Wife Podcast, Twitter at My Fan Wife, and Instagram at My Fantasy Wife Podcast, and now also on YouTube. Yes, YouTube.
No.
Yes, YouTube.
Really?
Yes, really, YouTube. Gary,
Yes?
tell us about this week's sponsor.
Sure, Blair. This week's sponsor is Sunday Night Comedy Open Mic at Brewer's Kettle. You already come for the fine beer, wine, and cigars. Now come to Brewer's Kettle for the laughs. Every Sunday evening at 6 p.m., hear the best area comics try out their best new jokes for free at our restored 50 service station, all the while enjoying beer, wine, back patio, and great outdoor games. And there's no need to stay in the audience, because if trying stand-up comedy is on your bucket list, you can join in the fun. No need to sign up in advance. Find more information about Brewer's Kettle Open Mic at bkwilmington.com. That's bkwilmington.com.
You did that very nicely. Hey, everybody, let's give us a round of applause.
Yay.
Round of applause there, just because for doing it. New sponsor this week.
Ah.
How'd you like that one, Lewis?
Oh, it was very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, good. Nice team. Let me finish out a couple little housekeeping things. Our guest today is comedian of stage, TV, and film, Rory Scovel. Let's give him a round
Speaking
of
of
applause.
little housekeeping
Yeah.
things, he's a little housekeeping thing.
He's a fantastic
That
person.
doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't make
little
any
tiny, sexy housekeeping.
No, stop it. And but also coming up this summer, folks, we have on July 24th, comedians and husband and wife Mary Mack and Tim Harmston. And on July 31st is Sumac Tolgagar. And August 7th is comedian Nick Vatterott. So we have a fun summer stuff is happening.
I'm going to send you a picture of me and Rory Scovel so you can use it this week.
Okay, sure.
Because I'm famous like that.
Yeah, well, we like to put up a lot of pictures. We'll use it.
Did I ever tell you about my
on
brush
social media.
with fame when I saw Rory one time?
No, this is not. Everything about this is disqualified.
All right.
You can talk about it with him,
Okay.
when he's on the line. But we got to get moving because
I've seen him in real life. I just want
I
you to-
know.
Okay.
Yes. No. You have seen him in real life for sure. That's a true thing. All right, guys. Any new business to address before we get going? No. Everything good? All right.
No, everything's great.
All right, guys. Well, let's get going here with some fact checks. This is the part of the podcast where we correct the mistakes we made last week to make room for the mistakes we're going to make this week.
Right.
And there was only really one. It's not exactly a fact check, more of a little bit of a life perception check, maybe. I think a little bit.
A titillating little...
A titillating piece of a fact check.
Yes.
So we had a little bit of a nipplegate last week.
was pointed out to us.
Yeah, yes, it was.
It was staring us right in the eye the whole time.
Okay. And Mr. Bishop noticed that he believed that Miss Serena Williams' nipples...
Oh, I didn't believe. I knew.
He thought they were rather pronounced during Wimbledon. And I just said, well, you didn't notice any of the guys. Like you didn't notice if Andy Murray, for example, had erect nipples. We don't know.
Yeah,
Why are you saying about the women?
That wasn't on
because
TV,
he
though.
doesn't want to violate Andy Murray.
But okay, but we don't know that.
Well,
I didn't violate her.
He's saying that
you did it. But
he
that's why you noticed it, because you wanted
But
it.
how many times mentally have
Right.
you? That's the question.
Right, well,
Okay.
That's not illegal.
All right. Oh, God, just
In
creepy.
many states.
Yes, it's
Is she-
many
is
creepy
she-
things are not illegal.
Is she in your top 5 celebrity list, Bishop?
no.
Okay.
All right. The
Top 10?
No.
25?
Yeah, but she's probably in the 25.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, he didn't ask if it was you, Gary. He was asking Mr. Bishop.
I
I just want to know what kind of ranking
When I
she
said
got.
no, he shook his head right.
All right,
Like,
listen.
is she like 22, maybe?
Here's the point. Here's the point.
The point.
If you will, I did a little research, and Mr. Murray's nipples were in fact photographed as being erect during Wimbledon, in a very pronounced
Well,
way.
that's just creepy for him.
Right.
Well,
Oh, is it
right.
weirdo?
He should have band-aided up.
Right.
Well, what?
Lewis doesn't want to have sex with him, so I
Right.
don't know why you're even bringing this up.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's not just because we always bring it up as a society. It's not okay for women, but
It
it's
is
okay
okay.
for men.
It wasn't okay for women.
Lewis is like, actually, it's preferred.
I never said it wasn't.
Yeah,
okay.
there was never any complaints
Well,
on this.
I guess
No.
it's more of it's a
More
subject
an
of
observation.
It's a subject of conversation when it's about women.
would be like
it's
this.
irrelevant when it's about men.
It would be
somehow.
like if I was like, "Wow, Andy Murray was playing, and did you guys notice all the money falling out of his pockets? His money was bulging out of his pockets. Why?
That wasn't money.
Right. No, but you know, it would be like that. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't-
He was never criticizing. He was like, "Hey, did you check that out?"
Yeah, that was. I was very impressed. I thought
Well,
that.
society, if you will, was very much talking about Serena's nipples and not
Right.
talking about
In a bad way?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It
Who
made
talks
people
badly about
upset.
nipples?
Right.
Well, some people on the interwebs do. There are lots of articles about it. Apparently, some people get very upset.
Well, we need to get rid of those people.
Well, okay. Well,
You give me and Bishop their names. We'll
we're
take care of it.
I think men and women equal nipple time. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my big fact check from last week. We actually didn't have a lot of mistakes.
Everyone should just celebrate their nipples.
You know
You
what?
know,
That's
Why don't
beautiful.
we just make tennis topless for everyone?
Topless tennis?
Yeah.
I bet you the American males would get more involved in it than they currently are.
Well, possibly mixed doubles. But anyway, but the it would be it's sometimes bras serve purposes beyond just covering you up. Sometimes it's for like safety.
Well, we'll make it
and,
like,
like,
fair, and guys have to be
avoid
bottomless.
injury.
So
Yeah,
they're-
yeah. I don't want to
their
see
nuts-
that.
Their nuts are just.
I don't
want to
see that.
All right, real quick survey in the room. Bro or manzier?
I think manzier myself. I like it.
Manzier.
I
Kind of like brosier.
brosier. All right.
Dairy Mark trademark infringement on the brazier.
Yeah. Right. I like manzier. All right,
I
guys.
know the bro though. It rolls right off the tongue.
All right.
What if you say brasier, but you're like, "What's up, brah?" Brasier. No.
Well, we'll work on it.
Okay.
We'll work on it.
I still want the
Should get
bra,
back to you.
the bra segment. Bra.
Oh yeah, we were going
Brah.
to do that. All right, well, submit it. We'll
Okay.
submit it through channels.
Channels.
Yeah.
Okay,
submit
so
it through
I'll get to
channels.
it around next year.
Okay.
sometime.
All right, guys, we're going to move into some hot topics. If you're ready, this week, let's try that again. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Hey, let's move into hot topics.
Hold on 1 second.
Hot topics.
All right, thanks, Gary. You in your best Blair / Mickey Mouse voice. UFC was bought this past week by IMG WME. It's a big talent agency, production, all conglomerate. The league, which promotes mixed martial arts, is expected to announce as soon as Monday, this past Monday, this is from CNBC, that sold itself to a group led by the talent giant WME IMG for about $4 billion, according to the people with direct knowledge of the matter. So, guys, how does this affect the UFC and MMA?
I think Dana White staying on is going to help it not change that much.
And Dana White is the
President.
of
He's the face of UFC.
Snow's brother.
Okay, no.
Because I mean, when the brothers owned it,
I could ask that the terrible puns be a little more like that. I had to think too hard about that.
he's got
one.
too many drugs in his finger right now. Right?
Right.
He's
This is
not
like
thinking
your
straight.
your finger's going to have to go to rehab. So Dana White's going to stay on as
Yes. That was the last thing I saw. And Dana White, I don't see that guy going anywhere anytime soon.
have you read about this, Lewis? Do you have an opinion here?
I think that's great for Dana White and everyone else. Maybe this company will give me what I want and allow the UFC to get back the way it was, where they have to fight 3 or 4 times in a night.
Yes,
And
that would
guys
be
are
awesome.
Fighting with broken hands and
With shoes, you
Yeah.
can stomp on people's faces
think
while
so?
they're
Yeah,
down.
that would be no. They're
No,
not gonna
they're
do
not
that.
No, because I'm like, this is like super corporate.
Yeah, I think it's going to get even more corporate now.
Yeah, it's very respectable, and it's just,
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more suspensions. Like if you do something stupid, you're going to be suspended, kind of thing.
We were listening to ESPN Radio over here, and because we like to know what the competition's up to. But no, they were talking about that very thing, that you could the guy who was just pulled right before the UFC
the
200,
greatest fighter around that we're not going to see for 2 years.
That they're not going to. It's going to be much stricter
Right.
on all the anti-doping stuff.
No,
it's
I
probably
definitely
going to be
agree.
one of the first things.
I think it's going to be an NFL situation too. Like if they do some misconduct things, like they're
like
gonna
say like racial slurs.
like if
and-
they say something stupid in the post-fight
misogynist.
interview, that's a suspension. Like I think it's going to be more so run like a professional league.
Yeah, well, and they said something interesting. The gentleman who just, and I don't want to go too long on this, but the gentleman who just got pulled, they were saying it was kind of amazing. Was this from the UFC or is this from something else that we just heard? The guy who said, "Oh, he wouldn't be so brash about things after the fight if he didn't think he was clean."
Right.
And
we both disagree.
yeah, I think you can be
Alcoholics and drug addicts known to brag about their innocence when they know they're guilty and they know it's already going to be found out.
Yeah, so I think that's I would think you wouldn't be such a fan of this, Drew, of this corporate purchase.
I'm not, but unfortunately, UFC was heading that way themselves
Right.
on their own,
right.
with the Reebok deal and all that shit. So I mean, it had to. I think it was the next evolution.
Okay.
And I mean, the brothers that owned it tried to sell it a few years back anyway. I think they're ready to get
Be
out.
done with it.
They're the type of ridiculous billionaires that are like, all right, we did this. This is cool. What are we doing next?
Right.
I think they were getting stale with it.
Yeah. It seems like a lot. This is a much bigger organization.
Right. But still, that blows my mind that it went from being banned in most states to a $4 billion company.
Yeah. Now, Gary, before we move on to the next one, do you have anything you'd like to say about the UFC purchase?
It took Silver Lake, Colbert, Kravis, Roberts, and Michael Dell to buy this.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's a big deal.
Some of the issues, there were some of it had to do with issues surrounding, like WME, IMG represents like Ronda Rousey
It only
and
took
folks,
two of those
and so,
guys to buy the last American president, so this was a big deal.
Right, this is a big deal.
Right.
So you're saying when you say last American president, you mean
I mean,
George
there's
W.
never going
Bush?
to be another one the country's going down to.
Okay.
I mean, it was
All right,
Reagan.
well, that's
The
another
final-
se-
the final.
Reagan was the last American president.
Okay. All right. You know what? I don't want to go there here tonight. I don't. Yeah.
His name was Ray Gun. How are you going to mess with him?
Right?
Okay.
That's
Okay,
one,
guys.
That's one gun I would
Oh,
like
what's
to
that?
ban.
I hear something in the background. Is that? Oh, it's that change topic music. Oh, hey guys, Tom Brady, Deflategate. It's over
Thank God.
because what did the appeals court said? Sorry.
No, Brady finally dropped it.
No. But first, the
Yeah.
appeals court said, no, we're not going to
Yeah.
support you, Mr. Brady. You signed up to be in the NFL, and the collective bargaining agreement says that Mr. What's-his-face gets to make these decisions.
I'm just glad he didn't keep going with it, though. He could have taken it to... He had the chance to keep
Take
it
it to the
going, and
Supreme
he's
Court.
like,
He did
no.
not. So he's going to be out for, is it four games?
4 games. I'm drafting that dude in fantasy football because he's going to come out with a vengeance in week 5.
Well, and what do you...
Where do you take him, though? Because he's going to miss a fourth of the season.
I mean, last
I
year...
would draft him, too, but you can't take him high. He's going to go too high because...
No,
everyone's
well,
gonna think
last
that, but he's
year
only gonna play
last
4
year in
games.
my league, I was able to... Because my personal league that we've been running
Get
for
it
like 10
out.
years... Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm so passionate about it. It takes me a
You
second.
can't even talk about it.
I drafted him in the 12th round in one of my leagues.
Yeah.
Because it was before they renounced the suspension. So
Right.
everyone thought he was suspended for
So
games.
you're a believer.
I was.
All right. But, I mean, does that mean the Patriots season is ruined? Who are they going to bring in to sub for
Well, they got
him?
Garofalo.
Yeah.
He's a good
been on their
quarterback.
You're
bench
looking
for,
at me like I would know this,
He's
Drew.
a good.
I have no idea.
He's a damn good quarterback.
Well, we don't even know, but I mean, he's been on their bench for 5 years, so he's at least learned the system.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is...
And
So
they've
this,
got a really good defense. They'll be fine.
so it's not like they had to go pick somebody up. They're what do you think, Mr. Bishop? From a maybe from a conspiratorial standpoint, what's your feelings
Well, there's
about
no
this?
conspiracy about this. Bill Belichick, I'll say it, is the best coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe NFL history, I would say.
Oh wow. Okay.
Uh,
All right. I'll give you
Because
that.
the system is bigger than the man, right? There's no man that's bigger than the system. He plugs and plays. You know,
Yeah.
you
He
get
doesn't-
people, and he's like, oh, how are they going to replace him? And they replace him.
So you think that Tom Brady isn't so much that it's Tom Brady? It's
No.
anybody could be him.
Anyone could be Tom Brady, It's just the system. And also, Tom Brady's old now. And
Yeah.
what did he do with his last old quarterback? He put in the younger, lesser-known guy.
Tom Brady.
And that was the next Tom
He
Brady.
paid that guy.
It was
to-
actually Tom
to
Brady,
rip
in
his
fact.
spleen open, and then they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then poor Bledsoe went to Dallas and got replaced by Tony Romo.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
That's what happened to almost anybody because of Romo's
Well,
talent.
I'm just glad it's over and we don't have to talk about Tom Brady and his deflated
Well,
balls
unfortunately,
anymore.
when the season starts, we're going to have to hear about it because
Balls,
he's not going to be
balls, balls. Nothing but balls. All right.
Brady's
It's my
inflated
favorite
balls.
Well, I guess it's the revenge for the Serena Williams Nipplegate. That we only talk about guys' balls in football. We don't talk about females.
I actually got called out for my stand-up last night at a bar,
Yeah.
and the only joke that the person remembered was my ball joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this a time where we promote all our jokes at the podcast, sir?
I'll be outside.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. All right, moving on to another topic. Moving on. And this is the... All right, guys. Dale Earnhardt Jr., this is from USA Today. He's sitting out today's race, and he's battling concussion-like symptoms. And there's a possibility that he could miss more races. Looming over the sport is a possibility that he could decide to retire because of health concerns. Hendrick team did confirm he was experiencing concussion-like symptoms. They said that if he misses beyond this race, retired driver Jeff Gordon could come back.
Concussion-like symptoms. I love how
That
they
bums
say
me
that.
out.
They
man.
wouldn't confirm
I've
he had a
experienced
concussion.
finger cut-like symptoms.
Oh my gosh!
But
And you
you're
know what? We're
here.
going to take a picture of
But
this
you're here.
ridiculous
I have a
finger that
picture
you
of
have
it. Where
going.
would you like me to send it?
We'll put it on the social media that you don't
Do you
follow.
for real have a picture of it open?
Oh,
Oh,
it was pretty gross.
All right, just sorry, not to.
Sorry, I just want to see that picture.
Yeah, to go back. What do you think about this?
I think Drew misunderstood when I told him I'd show him my bone. I think he.
No, okay, all right.
No, I knew what you were saying.
You know, suddenly, for the first time in my life, I would love it if we could just talk about Dale Earnhardt Jr. for just a second. Okay.
I mean, he's my favorite driver.
all right.
Not
well,
that I follow NASCAR that much, so if he's out, then I'm definitely out.
right. Is that just he's your legacy driver after his
Yeah,
dad?
yeah.
There's no
Elvis
Dick
is dead.
Trickle.
Right. Well,
but
only few
why do they
people
say
are.
concussion-like symptoms?
It was, and
Why
this
do
is,
they not want to say he has a
Did he
concussion?
wreck?
I don't know is
'Cause
the
they
answer, and apparently
always say
that's
that.
but that,
What do you mean you don't know?
But that's apparently the problem here is that they're not coming forward and saying it was a concussion, and so people are kind of a little bit confused and wondering what's up. So that's part of the story. I didn't know if you guys had read a little more
I'm
deeply.
launching a full-on investigation right
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hot Topics and Social Media Maven.
Pet nurse.
Oh, good. There's the live feed of the race right now.
now. Oh, so he's got a bunch of concussion history.
Yeah, he's got a lot of problems.
Or,
now-
or is it concussion-like symptom
Oh,
history?
no, he's having the symptoms to where he's having, like, memory loss and, like,
Oh,
headaches and things like that.
Oh my, that's
Like they're-
very far along.
Yeah.
Well,
Could be the angel dust.
Well, nah. Well,
Look, he
it's-
got married and he fixed it. He fixed that.
And all of a sudden his memory doesn't work. I know how that goes.
Yeah, well, that yes. So it could be a lot of things, is what we're saying.
Right.
Are you, Mr. Bishop? Are you a Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan?
No.
Not really.
He more like he likes Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Oh my goodness, the 7 cars into the wall. Sorry.
Oh, see, I didn't know. Earlier this year, Earnhardt pledged his brain to researchers because he's had so many concussions.
This could turn out to be a sad
See where
story.
He
Before you say anything terrible, know that this could turn out to be an incredibly
All I
sad
said
story.
was see where he pledged his penis.
so he's hid concussion symptoms and drove when he should not.
This could turn out to be very sad.
Very much so. He's
It
40.
sounds like a TIE
He's
fighter.
41.
Yeah, he's only 41. That's the problem.
I just want him to win a cup. I just really wish he would win a cup before he
Just
retires.
wear one.
Gary, we're going to come out next week that he's got the encephalopathy thing, and you're going to feel guilty.
Oh, you're going to feel guilty for mispronouncing it.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen, but that's my problem.
The only thing that the only good of this is that a lot of the athletes are donating their brains. So I think CTE research is going
Now,
to
do they
go
have to
through.
die?
That's what I
do
meant,
Do they die
CTE.
first, or do they do it now?
They should do it now.
Yeah.
It's going to be terrible. All right, guys.
They're just going to tape his hand so
Right.
he continues to
Right.
make left turns.
Yeah.
Hey,
I had to. Hey, just while we're on the subject, I had to have a tremendous knockdown, drag-out fight with Blair for her
What?
to let me drive here. What do you guys think about driving with a cut left index finger?
No, there's a huge.
Is that your driving
splint.
hand?
No.
What's
All
a
right.
driving hand? You're supposed to use both hands.
No, you
Both
don't.
hands.
You don't
It's
use
a-
both
10 and
hands.
2.
There's
No.
a huge. No, actually, 10 and 2 is out.
So how do
10
people?
and 2 is out. You're supposed to be down here at like 7 and 5.
Oh, well, that's terrible.
Or it's 6 and 8,
That's
something like that.
This is much.
I'm
10 and 2 is much.
I'm just telling you what the new
Blair,
research is.
Well,
Who do we appreciate?
2, 4, 6, 8.
So what about people with manual transmissions? They drive with one hand.
Look, I'm just not the whole time.
Yes, the whole
Look,
time.
he's got an enormous.
My Hispanic friend, manual
enormous.
transmission.
He's got. Oh God. He's got an enormous splint on and 5 stitches in his finger that are brand new. I just didn't want you to pull on the thing, and you're going to wind up being in pain. They said it was very delicate. The stitches were very delicate.
I think we're
You're
all
very
aware
delicate,
of
Flower.
your viewpoint. I was curious what my other two compadres thought about
But you
that.
made it sound to the listeners like there's a Band-Aid on it, and it's not. It's much more. It looks like a
No,
big.
it's legit.
No, it looks
It
like
looks
a
like you
big
cut your
foam.
finger off.
It looks like a big foam finger, like
We're
from
number
a
one.
How much?
sporting event.
How much of your finger is missing right now?
It's more like a lot of skin.
No, like a piece was still attached by the skin, and they had to like put it back
Ah!
on. And sew it
Did you
in.
Did you break it as well?
No,
No,
I
they
had
looked.
the bone.
They looked.
Come back to me when you cut half of it off.
All
All
right.
right. But
Did
anyway,
you, hold on, did you drive to the hospital?
Yes,
Okay.
with the blood like
but there
running
were
down my
no.
hand.
But the issue here are the stitches being very delicate.
Right.
Is what the
How many
physician-
stitches did you get?
It's not
5.
9.
It's not so much.
Nine. No, excuse me,
Nine?
9.
It's not
That's-
so much
that-
the
I mean,
cut
that's
that's
pretty
going to
good.
get you. It's the stitches.
It's the stitches.
Right.
And they're very, very
But
delicate.
don't forget, folks, we're on Stitcher.
Oh, there we go.
There's a. Okay, do you know what Stitcher is
No.
now? Okay, I didn't think so.
No, it's the woman who gave me my stitches.
Right.
She's a stitcher.
It's the nurse that come in
Yes, that's a little more like it.
We'll say a hot redheaded doctor.
Physician
We'll say
assistant,
that.
but she was rather
with
attractive,
Oh,
and she was.
listen
rather-
to Blair doing the glass ceiling over here. Can't
Right.
she be a doctor?
Oh, she.
Oh, physician's assistant
she.
probably.
Well, there's rather a big difference.
Oh, intern probably.
No, she.
Well,
was,
why? Because she was a woman.
Yeah, that's probably because she's a woman.
Right.
But I know it was because she's
Can't be women
not
doctors.
a doctor.
Honey, be a homemaker and just.
Would you
Yeah.
stop it? Just stop it.
Hey,
Your
who,
finger looks ridiculous. It's gonna hurt later. Fine, drive all you want.
All right.
All right.
who brung this woman in here? I'm not hungry. Get out of here, sweetheart.
Right. Right.
I mean, I would have taken a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while he sewed my finger up. It would have been, But it's not a hotel; it's a hospital.
Well,
Honey, where's your father at? That's
I'm
the
sorry.
doctor.
I don't. I call people by what they actually do, what their actual titles are. I'm sorry. I'm sure she would call herself a physician assistant as well, because she didn't go to medical school.
Maybe she's in medical school.
No, she's not.
Oh,
We had a
because
long-
she's old. Oh,
No,
she is in the issue "Hot Girls of Medical School."
Not yet. No. Nope.
I thought Playboy stopped doing this.
Well,
No. All right, guys. Wow. Is that still the race going on?
it's 500
In the
miles,
background?
Blair.
Wow, it's a long race. All right, guys.
it's
Next.
a very long race with women like you
Okay.
pretending to be behind the driver's seat of women's rights, but yet you knock down another
Were you
woman.
were you
Ooh.
trying to make a was that a punny kind of point your driver's seat thing?
Mm-hmm.
Is that where we were going for?
All right, we got to
All right.
stop letting Gary and
Yeah,
Bishop hang out so much.
Yeah, that needs to stop.
All right, fine, sorry.
All right, guys. Hey, let's move on to this next hot topic.
I'm just.
Hey,
All right, let's try that one more time. All right, next hot topic, guys. Fix it in post. All right, I got to watch the Doc and Daryl 30 for 30.
Hadn't seen it yet. Don't spoil it for me.
They're both still alive. So I'm afraid we're going to.
Question:
Yes.
Is Doc? Who's Doc? Is
Doc Gooden and Daryl Strawberry.
Doc was the pitcher.
the
Strawberry
Mets.
was the outfielder.
And
Was-
then the Yankees, too.
I just got to the part the day after they won the World Series when they're having the parade, and the owner of the Mets calls up Daryl Strawberry and says, "Make sure you go by Doc Gooden's house and pick him up." And
Yeah.
he went there and he wasn't there. He just never showed up for the 2.5 million person
Yeah,
parade honoring them.
the largest parade that had ever happened.
He had to
in
go to his
Manhattan.
Coke dealer, man.
Was
no, he was a drinker.
was Doc the
Yeah.
guy that did
No,
acid?
they both did cocaine.
Strawberry was the cokehead, totally.
But he got Gooden to do it with him.
Well, no, actually, what and a big point of this whole 30 for 30 is how people think they used to hang out like as friends, and so they weren't like they didn't not like each other, but they weren't like best
Well,
friends.
what about all the tales of them doing snorting in the clubhouse.
Apparently everybody was doing amphetamines and lots of stuff in the clubhouse, but it wasn't the two of them together.
My favorite part about the part
Doc Gooden was actually did go get on cocaine. He tells the story after his first season going back to Tampa for the off season. His cousin was his pot dealer really at the time. He was just 20 years old, and a pimp as well.
Nice.
And he went over to his cousin's house to get his pot, and there were women, and he went in the room where the women are and wanted to say, hey, try this neat stuff. It's cocaine. And he said as soon as he did it, it was like the missing piece of his, soul
like most
was
people
put into
think
place.
the first time that they do that.
No, but right, and his first drug of choice was alcohol for sure, but then he did do a lot of cocaine. Yeah, as well.
Yeah, I never did anything but lots of nitrous oxide.
That is not correct.
I used to carry a tank around with a mask.
This is a throwback.
When I beat up a hooker, I just put the mask on first. I put a piece of blue velvet on my mouth, and
okay, no, that's not this. That's a movie, and that wasn't your life.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little scared right now.
Your life wasn't that. You're not Blue Velvet. That's not you. Sorry. Okay. It's a little more pedestrian than that. Right. You did plenty of bad things, babe. Don't worry about it. Or not bad, questionable moral
What about that time I killed that white whale?
Nope. That was Moby Dick. And, congratulations. It's a tough book to get through. So, that's a slog. But anyway, back from Moby Dick to Doc and Daryl. Obviously I love the 30 for 30s, but this is fascinating for me because I was having, a
Hang on a second. What is this song?
This is the Mets. Let's go Mets.
Oh. I don't know this at all.
Well, did you grow up in northeastern New Jersey in the 70s and 80s?
No.
Yeah, okay. So it's not like I know every word, but
I could sing "Hail to the Redskins."
Okay, please let me finish this. Okay, I just don't even know what to do anymore. The Mets, the '86 World Series. We're watching that at my house with like 15 or 20 friends. I'd call it a party, but it was a nerd party, and I didn't let people drink and stuff. So anyway, but other than that, it was a good time. And watching that hole with the shot that went through the Red Sox guys' legs,
Buckner,
and then they scored, and then it was amazing, and I remember incredibly well. And what I love too is that a lot of the celebrities they have commenting on are like Bill Maher and Jon Stewart, and those are all like Jewish guys from who grew up in northeastern New Jersey. It's like that's who the Mets fans were in the 80s in a large degree, because obviously the Yankees have had a bit of a stranglehold on a lot of the fan base. But Gary, you brought up an interesting point when we were watching that about that 86 series. Yes, this is my favorite thing about this whole thing, because every crazy Boston fan that I've ever met says that if Buckner had simply caught that ball and stepped on first base, they would have won. And the thing that everybody forgets, and I'm glad you saw this, because everybody forgets this, they were not winning, they were tied. The Red Sox.
Yes, even if he caught that ball and stepped on first base, they wouldn't have won. They would have had to score another run at some point. So there's not like, if they'd been down one and it went through his legs, and they would have won had he caught it, there's your, I still don't see what all the fuss is about.
Well, because they're bad losers, I guess.
I guess.
But it was, I think one of the really interesting parts is looking at the atmosphere they were in New York, which was very like Reagan era, like Wall Street, like just the whole thing, 80s, and they were just a big part of that. And just, I can't even tell you how famous they were growing up where I was in this. In that part
Mookie Wilson.
And Mookie Wilson, absolutely.
Yeah.
Drew,
Jerry Carter.
I don't know how far back your memory goes for baseball, because you were born in 80, right?
I was born in 85.
85. Oh, so
the whole Keith Hernandez spitting tape.
Well, what about?
But I like to go back and.
Well, that's from Seinfeld, and
right.
that's not real. Okay, sorry, honey.
Like
I feel like I'm bursting a lot of bubbles for Gary.
Spitter.
Right.
My first baseball memory.
Yeah.
Was Sid Bream sliding in the NLCS in 91 to beat the Pirates and the Braves.
Oh, that was fantastic. Barry Bonds, 5 tools. He was missing half a tool that day.
Yeah,
well,
that's why he left the Pirates after that. Because the Braves beat him back-to-back years in the NLCS.
Sid Bream's slowest base runner in the National League,
right,
too.
and he's
that's incredible.
Coming around third, hot.
I hate to be a bummer, but I'm trying to talk about the Doc and Daryl thing at least a little bit.
Well, I'm a Braves fan, and I hate the Mets. So,
okay, all right. Well,
I'm right there with you, buddy.
Is where that is. But Gary,
we don't agree on a lot of things, but we agree on that.
Right.
Yes, you do. And how awesome your finger looks.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
the other thing.
I do. I want to see pictures.
But
I should
Gary,
have taken a picture. Of that, actually.
well, you know what? We'll dismantle everything, rip it open, and
Okay,
we'll go
good.
back to the.
But I mean, I have a medical kit. I'll put it back together.
He had quite a
For-
device for wrapping the finger, didn't he?
Oh my God! Please let me ask you
you
this.
think that was cool?
It was cool. Can we talk about it later?
All right.
All right. When Jesus Christ. Gary, when you were growing up in Richmond, Virginia,
Yes.
you were probably actually in college at this point.
I was in college.
I
was
How
driving.
famous were these guys, Doc and Daryl?
Famous.
They
Super famous.
resurrected
They were two
the
of
Mets.
four-
They
were two of-
resurrected the Mets.
They were two of the four best baseball players in the Major League Baseball, and they were on the same team.
Would George
in the
Brett-
biggest city.
And
Would you
how-
put George Brett in that category?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how disappointing, if you will, was their career, like compared to what their first
It would
starting
be
out
like
potential?
it would be like Mike, like just like on a smaller scale, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen bringing the Braves back to, I mean the Bulls back to greatness, and then turns out they both are terrible people, personal lives, and then they fall apart.
They were not terrible people, but they were a disaster.
They
Their
played
personal
they
lives
played
were
for the
disaster.
Mets, so they were terrible
Okay,
people.
well, you
My
see,
favorite-
that's a little confusing
Yeah.
to me.
My
but-
favorite part was when Darryl Strawberry was in the off season, and they were talking about the pitcher that tore up AAA. Like he went from single A to AAA in the same year. It was like 14-1 with a nothing ERA and struck out 1 million people. And they're like, he's going to be the anchor of the Mets staff next year at 22 years old or whatever. You want to meet him? He said, sure. And they walked to the bar. And he goes, there he is. And he goes, where? And they're like, that guy. And he looks down. He's just passed out unconscious with his head on the bar.
Yeah.
And Strawberry laughed. He's like, that guy's going to go to training camp?
Right? It's like that doesn't look possible.
Yeah. So he had problems before he got to the
did.
Mets.
His father was an alcoholic. I mean, that's really what you see here with these guys. It's the cycle of it.
But you know what? My other favorite thing was when he said he was watching the draft. Darryl Strawberry was talking about watching the draft. He turns the draft on, and all of a sudden he's picked number 1 in the entire draft. He had no idea he was going to be the first pick. Like, do you think today that whoever's the first pick in the NBA draft this year, like, had no
I didn't
idea
know
that
that was
they were
going to be me?
Yeah.
Right?
He
Congratulations,
turned on to
by
see
the
if
way.
he's drafted, and he's picked number 1.
It's bizarre.
fantastic.
And it's really, you kind of get the vibe from it that maybe Darryl Strawberry's doing better right now than Doc. And then I forgot about all of Darryl Strawberry's cancer. He had colon cancer 2 or 3 times.
Hey, you know, it wasn't even that. Somebody called him and say, hey, man, you just got drafted. And he turned it on and found out he was picked first.
Doc Gooden or Darryl Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Yeah, Strawberry.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
I actually have audio from his reaction when he was picked first.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's hear that.
Yeah.
That seems. That sounds like. I don't know if he sounds happy there.
Is that Chevy Chase riding the ride at Wally World?
He sounds sad. That sounds.
Strawberry, you've just been picked number 1. What do you think?
What was that terribly sad thing from?
That was from my only connection with the Mets.
Yeah?
Which is the 1992
Rape and murder of a gardener in the Met outfield.
What is that?
It's
That is
It's the
terrible.
rape and murder of a groundskeeper in
No,
the Met outfield.
that is a terrible.
Lewis's only connection to the Mets.
it's
He spent a year of his life raping and
Oh,
murdering
God,
one,
let Lewis talk.
groundskeeper from each team.
Lewis, go ahead.
And he made a recording.
Oh God, what, Lewis?
I wrote a book about it. I called it 162 in the Grass. No, that is Harvey Keitel crying in the movie The Bad Lieutenant.
Yes.
Oh God!
I thought I recognized that.
Of course you did. All right.
All right, can I get this cord here? Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know.
That honestly,
So-
that's the other. If that documentary didn't mention the Mets betting from Bad Lieutenant, they missed a golden opportunity because
Well-
that's the funniest thing ever made ever.
Well, you know what? That is appropriate. I forgot that was all about
Yep.
betting on the Mets.
That whole thing.
So that's very apropos.
I hit the button for you.
All right. So we are now calling our guest. Moving on, our guest on the
I'd like to predict he's not going to answer.
Celebrity Talk. Well, I can't hear anything.
This is Rory Scovel.
Oh, hello, Rory Scovel. This is Blair Postman with My Fantasy Wife podcast. How are you?
Oh my God! Did I win something?
You won being on an episode of the My Fantasy Wife podcast. How are
That's why you always put your name in for every raffle you come across.
You never-
That is why.
you never know when it's gonna pay off. You never really know. Well, let me do your little.
don't know.
Let me do. That's why it's fun. It's a surprise. Let's do a little intro here. Comedian Rory Scovel has performed on Conan, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. He was a series regular on Ground Floor, and now on Those Who Can't. And his first streaming special, The Charleston Special, is available on CISO and RoryScovel.com. Everyone, big round of applause for Rory Scovel.
Thank you.
And of course,
Thank you.
an illustrious past member of Improv Nation, but we'll talk about that another time. That's a super, super silly joke. All right, let me tell you who's here in studio with me, Rory. And can you hear us okay?
Okay.
Can you hear us okay?
I can, yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you great. It's just usually folks can't hear us.
Perfect.
Wonderful. To my left here is my husband and sports stat expert, Mr. Gary Hames.
Hi, Rory.
Gare Bear. Hey, Gare Bear.
Hi. Blair predicted that you wouldn't answer the phone, but I told her I knew you would.
That's not true, but Gary's trying to make you feel good. And then to my left over here is our hot topics and social media maven, comedian Drew Harrison.
Hey, Rory.
Hey, Drew.
How you doing, bud?
Hey, Drew Bear.
Hey.
Oh, see,
Good.
Everybody's a bear now.
everyone's a bear, Gary.
Yeah, but Drew's a B-A-R-E. I was a B-E-A-R.
It's not a competition, all right? Except that it is. And then rounding things out, we have comedian and sound engineer and man about town, Mr. Louis Bishop.
Oh, hi, Rory.
Hey, Louis Bishop Bear.
I'm not sure which of them looks more like a bear. They all kind of do, a little bit.
Bishop looks
yeah.
most like.
And I can be Blair Bear. Oh, that sounds cute.
Blair Bear.
Aw.
How come yours sounds a little bit better?
It sounds sort of adorable. Gary and Blairy. So, hey, Rory, thanks for joining us. How's everything?
Thanks for having me.
That's wonderful. Well,
Oh, it's fantastic.
we've
man.
we've put aside a couple of topics from that we can talk about while you're on the line here.
Can I start? Can I ring up the first one?
Is it going to be a real topic?
Yeah, it's a real topic.
Is it a real topic about sports?
Yes.
Or something
Yes.
sassy?
Jesus, God, it's a sports talk show.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Rory, did you see the last day of the British Open today?
I saw it today.
It's fantastic.
I did see it. I
It was
watched it.
amazing.
Start to finish.
Yes.
Start to finish, it was fantastic.
That silly Swede once hit 3 birdies in a row and lost the tee box because the other dude got 2 birdies and an eagle. It's unbelievable.
There's a lot of different types of birds involved.
Yes.
I've come to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
But Rory and I are big golf fans,
Pretty
everybody.
amazing finish.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this, Rory. When did you said now that you're obsessed with golf? When and why did
And that's
that...
not the VW golf. That's the game of golf, right?
No, it's a game of
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
It is the VW golf.
Right. No, the car. Is this not a car podcast?
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's about cars.
I love good gas mileage on the highway.
4 super hot cylinders.
Anti-lock brakes.
Right?
Okay, so
Not that it had those.
now in my nightmare, Rory has completely joined Gary's tangential strains of thought on the podcast, which I guess I should have expected.
Can you not use big words? Blair, we've been over this. Please stop using big words.
We just, you know what? You don't need to know.
Okay.
So when and how did you become obsessed with golf? Because I don't think this has been a lifetime thing for you, has it?
It hasn't. So I played golf rarely. I played every now and then in college.
Okay.
A lot of guys on the soccer team played, so I would go out just to drink beer and hit whatever club I was told to hit. And
Sure.
I played with my uncle every now and then, never getting any better, really, but enough people always told me I had a decent swing. So I always kind of had that in my back pocket.
Right, they
thinking,
sort of kept stringing...
Oh, well, people...
Rory's
people
a
say that,
swinger,
but
the
I don't
headline
play
said.
Very well.
Yeah.
So they're stringing you along.
They're stringing me along, and then moving to DC and getting into comedy. I didn't travel with my clubs because I didn't really care about golf at all. And then about a year and a half ago, I had a friend visiting. We went and played par 3, and he was like, "Yeah, you could." He goes, "You should really work on this. This par 3 is near your house. You could probably play all the time." And it was like the first time I was like, "Oh yeah, I can physically play golf for a long time. Soccer and basketball are slowly waving goodbye to me."
Right, you're falling
so maybe-
apart. Yeah.
yeah. So I started playing, and I noticed that I was improving because it's such a heartbreaking sport, even when you're good, that if you're not showing any signs of improvement, it's just too expensive and too time consuming. So, yeah, I started showing some signs of improvement, and I was like, oh, maybe I could get good at this, and I kind of kept improving enough to where you kind of get the addiction. Also, I think the way the scoring works in golf kind of plays into my sort of obsessive OCD of like, oh, I want to like get as perfect as possible with my score.
Right. You like impossible goals and impossible to achieve. And so
right.
You've selected comedy and golf. So
that's right.
And do you think any of it? Because I mean, I'm not bashing you in any way, but there aren't a lot of like super famous sports tough guys who are named Rory. I don't think.
Yep.
But now
there's
some
golfers.
But exactly, thank you.
They're all golfers.
But now the ones who are, there's the Rory McIlroy, and there's probably others that's sort of a Scottish name. So maybe that had kind of a piece of it. You're like, you know what, this is something where I could fit in.
I think so. Whenever I show up at the course and they want like my name, I say Rory, and all of them make that joke like, oh, pretty common name out here. And then
right.
Pay my money and walk away.
Right. You know what, sir? We're not here to be friends. I just take my money so I can go play my addiction.
I'm trapped in a Groundhog Day with everyone at the check-in.
Right. Appropriate enough, especially since Bill Murray also played the groundskeeper at Caddyshack.
I want to know what course Rory played in college.
Gary went to school not too far from where you went to school. Gary wants to know what course you played.
Well, I worked at the Carolina Country Club.
Of course you did, Rich Boy.
There.
Gary said...
The unfortunate thing about that is that's such a nice course, and I got to play for free, and it's only now that I would truly appreciate how great of a course it was. Whereas, like, in college, I was like, who gives a shit? This is what all the courses must look like this.
Right. My whole life's going to be this.
I look back now, and I'm like, oh, my God, I got to play for free on, like, a really great course. Like, every Monday, I think it was closed, so they let us play.
Yeah. Oh, my whole life's going to be great. I'll just take this for granted. It's amazing.
Did they have caddy day at the
Did
they have caddy day at the pool like in Caddyshack where 15 minutes a week you could go use the pool? No.
No.
Right.
And you got to show up with a candy bar?
Right,
yes.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, no, because I worked in like events, so I was like part of like the catering crew. I wasn't even as cool and as
kill all the gophers.
Edgy as the caddies were.
Right. All right. Well, now another thing though, Rory, you had a pretty decent soccer career, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
I mean, by my
played,
standards.
Through college.
And
I played through college.
Did you toy with going over to Europe, or is that my imagination?
I wanted to do that, and then as soon as my last actual college game, I didn't stay in shape or do anything towards that goal.
Right.
And then I had to come to terms with the fact that if you don't do things towards your goal, you will never get to your goal.
Oh, well, that's a good...
And I physically had let that... And I was also like, I clearly don't want to go do that.
Not badly enough.
I had to find that out, yeah.
Well, but that's a good life lesson for all the listeners out there, though. But you're still a fan, right? Did you follow Euro Cup? I'm imagining you did.
You know, I was following the Copa America Cup. I guess that's redundant. The Cup America Cup.
Yeah, the Cup America Cup, sure.
The Cup Cup. And then I watched a little bit of the Euro games. I watched a little of the Euro games.
Yeah.
No, there's certain sports, like, for some reason, it's hard for me to watch soccer because I do have this thing in my head where I really want to go out and play it. I liken it to Bo Jackson's inability to watch too much football now.
Right.
As you all know, I was the Bo Jackson of soccer.
Well, as far as we know, you were. So
actually, oddly enough,
it's true. No one's gonna go look this up.
You did run like a man with an artificial hip.
No one looked into my stats.
Blair did always say that. She's like, hey, guys, listen, we're having Rory on. I know you guys know him as a comedian, but he's actually the Bo Jackson of soccer.
Right.
Of soccer
and
and golf.
And golf.
Yeah. And they
She said
And then,
Joe
and then
Jackson.
all of
you heard her
you
wrong.
replied at the same time. I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah, I was like, who says that? But she said that.
I said it.
She has actually on. She has on a shirt that says "Rory knows," and it's, she's
You know,
selling those.
our first rehearsal with Improv Nation, that's how I introduced myself to the group.
Right. And so I just have been believing that all this time.
Hi
So
guys,
little-
my name is Rory. Some people call me the Bo Jackson of golf and soccer. So.
And also,
And
yes.
improv. Improv.
and
the Bo
also-
Jackson of improv.
And improv and soccer, and also, and I'm like, oh, that sounds very accomplished. And then I've been repeating that for 20 years. Okay, well, or 15, something like that. It's a little awkward to find out this way.
Yeah.
This way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, moving on then. We were kind of impressed with Portugal winning, which is really nice and sweet. But that's about as much as I absorbed.
Without their star player.
Well, he was in there for a few minutes, but was it Ronaldo? Is that the man, gentleman? Yeah,
That's right.
And my nephew knows who he is and seems to like him. So, yes, Mr. Ronaldo was out, and they still won. So there you go. That's about what I know about the Euro Cup. Except two other things. Iceland tried really hard.
They did a fantastic job of trying really hard.
Yep. That's true.
And super cute Irish fans were all around France, like doing cute things.
Well, you know, Irish people are very attractive by nature.
Yes, they are. It was nice. Did you see them? Any videos of the Irish fans doing cute things around France?
I did, and I loved it. I loved. I guess in those situations, I also love things like Iceland going,
Yes.
getting pretty far, and that being pretty insane for them. That makes it all pretty fun. I think when you're kind of watching without any like a real dog in the fight, anyways. It's
Right.
kind of fun to cheer for the extreme underdog.
Yeah, I mean, there's the underdog, the dog in the fight, all of the dogs.
Any dog. Anyways, I love dog fighting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at. People also don't know that you're a huge dog. No, we're kidding, listeners. Oh God, we're going to get letters or emails. People don't.
Our
send
fans
Dude.
don't write.
No one's going to email.
Yeah, no one's going to email either. Okay, never mind. No one listens. Never mind. It's fine. Say whatever you want.
Yeah, Brian Bob is going to be pissed.
Yeah, the one guy.
The one fan.
But is there anything else that you're a fan of? Like before, because we got a really fun game to play. But is there anything else that you're a fan of? You know, do you have a football team you're a fan of?
Are you like man sports like football?
Well, European football. No one has that accent. He's like, I'm a big fan of European football. Get the barbecue out,
Right.
get a cooler of beer, and sit back and just watch some European English Premier League football.
That's right. That's right. But I
No,
don't.
do you have a football?
Well,
American
I didn't
NFL?
where I grew up, I mean, I think to this day, still the only pro sports team is hockey in South Carolina. So, unless you count Clemson University, which a lot of people do, I didn't have any pro teams. So, like for baseball, I cheer for the Braves.
Yeah,
out of,
there you go.
proximity. But it was kind of hard to stick with the Hawks and the Falcons, and then I didn't get too into the Panthers or the Hornets. So,
Right.
honestly, I think now, and this is, the good thing is this isn't really bandwagoning. I think I'm just going to decide that I'm going to cheer for the LA Rams and be like, well, I live here.
Right.
I've never really had a team or ever really cared, and maybe cheering for this team will be something fun. In like maybe 5 to 10 years, it'll be fun.
Right. Maybe this will turn it all around for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I enjoy watching a lot of football, but there's never really been a team I was even when we lived in New York and DC, like
Yeah.
I never really cared.
Well, there were pretty rabid fans there too. It's kind of hard to like just kind of come in your middle 20s or something and start
Yeah.
cheering for the Redskins or the Giants
And
or
it's
whatever.
really tough to pull for any New York teams.
It's
period.
not for me. It's
Exactly.
not,
Yeah.
not-
But you don't feel like it. It just doesn't feel genuine either because there's no nostalgia to it.
Right.
It's
Right.
not like I even really follow the Braves, but and also that's like the easiest team to cheer for because no one would ever accuse you of bandwagoning. That never does well. But yeah, I I did find it hard to cheer. I think I always felt like if I started cheering for the New York teams, I would feel like fake about it for some reason.
Right, you're a fraud. You're a fraud, Scoville.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey guys, I think we're going to get ready to play our game. You want to play a game with us, Rory?
Shall we play
Yes,
a
I
game?
do.
Okay, so the game is, and this is sort of a little fun spin-off on, you being the Bo Jackson of soccer and golf a little bit. But we're going to play Who Said It, Trump, Bladder, or Evil, Greedy Movie Villain. All right? So we're gonna read you quotes, and you have to decide if the person who said it was Donald Trump, Sepp Blatter, or an evil movie villain, greedy movie villain. And if you decide that it's a movie villain and you're correct, we'll give you an extra shot to guess which villain. So isn't that a fun twist?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
like that.
I hope you haven't been studying up too much on your Sepp Blatter quotes and such, but because that, I don't know, it feels like that would have been cheating. All right, let's see. Gary, why don't you start? Read him number 9.
Okay. Sometimes part of making a deal is denigrating your competition.
All right. Do you need to hear that again?
Sometimes making a deal is what?
Part of denigrating your competition.
Bigger words. Okay. I'll factor that in. Is that Trump?
It is Trump. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, God.
That
Yes.
was an easy
Oh, God.
one, however.
Sometimes part of making a deal is denigrating your competition. Is Donald Trump from the 1987 hit book, The Art of the Deal, as a matter of fact. All right.
Love it.
And Drew, why don't you read number 31, Drew? Jesus, Drew.
All right, sorry. It's not always the most popular person who gets the job done.
These quotes are so much shorter than I thought they would
Well,
be.
we're working our way up.
Hi, I'm Donald Trump. Now, was that Donald Trump or
Right. Are you passing?
I'm gonna go with Sepp Blatter.
No.
All right.
That was Gordon Gekko from Wall Street. Gordon Gekko from Wall Street.
Hey, can I read
Now
number?
I know that Gary's so upset with me.
Right.
Right.
Can I read number 13? That's my favorite.
Well, okay, go ahead, Gary. Read number 13.
All right, Rory. My grandmother always said a clock rings ding and dong, not ding, ding, ding. You have to listen to ding and to dong, and for now, I only hear ding. Right?
You know, it's the saddest part is that, there's a chance real people said this.
Yes, it's true.
Pretty good
The
chance.
fact that I even have to debate that in my head.
Right.
I'm trying to read the pattern here of answers, but I know.
Do you want to hear
jumping around
Gary?
to
Do you
throw me
want
off.
Gary? Let Gary read that one more time.
All right.
Okay.
My grandmother always said a clock rings ding and dong, not ding, ding, ding. You have to listen to ding and to dong, and for now, I only hear ding.
Is it a movie villain?
No, that is Sepp Blatter said that.
Head of the most powerful soccer committee in the world.
Sepp Blatter said that, Roars. I know.
And he was under oath when he said
Yes,
that.
Right, yes.
probably.
You know it's true.
Ding and dong. We got both kinds, ding and dong.
Probably. All right. Well, here's a chance to redeem yourself. Drew, are you? Why don't you read him? I think it's number 19. Is it?
All right, Rory. This person said racism can be resolved with a handshake.
Some topical words there, specifically handshake.
Right.
Is it Trump?
Also, Sepp Blatter.
I knew it was there because you wanted me to think it was Trump.
Right. It's Sepp Blatter. Also, Sepp Blatter. All right. Let me get
Sepp
you.
Blatter 2 in a row.
Yeah. All right. Let me get you.
No way you go Sepp Blatter 3 in a row. Now I'm in your head.
He's trying to suss it out. All right. I'm going to read you one. A real native.
I am Sepp Blatter.
Right. No, that was Donald Trump. So sorry, Rory. He said I am Sepp Blatter. Okay, I'm going to read number 25. A real native is someone who is willing to die fighting for his country. There's nothing more to it.
Movie villain.
Yes!
Yeah, there
ding,
you
ding,
go.
ding. It is a movie villain. Do you know which movie villain? This is just for bonus.
I am.
Not a chance.
There is so not a chance.
Gary
is
says
right
so.
there.
Right.
He gets half a point of my point.
Right. It is. I'll go ahead. It's Bill the Butcher.
It's Biff from Back to the Future.
It is. That would be interesting. If Biff had said a real native is someone who is willing to die fighting for his country, that would have been
deleted scene.
That would have been super fun. But no, it was Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York. Bill the
There
Butcher.
it is.
That was his second choice.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's try this. I got one.
Are you sure it wasn't Sam the Butcher?
No, it was Bill the Butcher. All right, Gary, read number 26.
26. You are nothing. If you were in my toilet, I wouldn't bother flushing it. My bath mat means more to me than you. This is one of my favorite quotes.
Movie villain.
Yes, it is a movie villain. Congratulations. Do you know which movie villain or which movie?
Bill the Butcher.
Good guess.
Go tell him. Go ahead, tell him, Gary.
That would be Kevin Spacey from Swimming with the Sharks. I don't think it's Swimming with the Sharks.
Swimming with Sharks.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen it...
That's a great movie.
It's about Hollywood, and it feels super reals. All right, I'm going to read one. Number 5, I'm going to read, and it's women. You have to treat them like shit.
Is that Sepp Blatter?
Oh, it's Donald Trump.
Because it could have been. Well, who knows? It could be either one of those.
All right. I'm gonna. Go ahead, Rory. Do you have one? Go ahead, Rory. Go ahead, Drew. Do you have one you want to read?
Yes, I have one.
Go ahead.
Roy, go ahead. Ask yourself a question.
As the CVS pharmacists keep trying to buzz in on this conversation, I gotta get rid of call waiting. Go ahead.
I have black guys counting my money. I hate it. The only guys I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes all day. That's how you spell yarmulkes?
That's how you spell yarmulkes.
I want to hear real quick how Drew thought. How did you think that was?
I was about to go with yarmulks.
Yarmulks.
Okay. I'm surprised you picked that one. What did you think it was?
I didn't read past that. I didn't read that part.
Okay. You didn't study.
I just
all
saw.
the way.
I just saw the. I have black guys counting my money, and I was like, "That's mine."
Yes, I have black guys counting my money. I hate it. The only guys I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes all day.
It's surprising the guy with the thickest Southern accent didn't know yarmulke.
Yeah. We were all.
No curveballs there.
Yeah.
What is yarmulks? I don't understand what this word means.
What the hell, yarmulke? What is a yarmulke?
I drink my milk, y'all drink your milks.
That was fun, Gary.
And that was Sepp Blatter who said that about milk.
It was Don. Was that a real? Because I'm about to already tell you. It was Donald Trump.
I guess it's Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
You got to ask him final answer.
All right, we'll do final answer. Okay, Gary, read him on number 16.
I am the president now, the president of everybody.
Villain.
Oh,
No, actually.
It's
Sepp Blatter.
That was Sepp Blatter.
Yes, Sepp Blatter. This is way harder.
Sepp Blatter getting a lot of quotes in there.
Isn't it terrifying how hard this is? It's a little scary for me.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of terrifying how very seldom it's been a villain, a movie villain.
Right. I know. I mean, that's the terrifying part for me when I stumbled upon this idea. And then I cried myself to sleep last night as I was finishing it up. But that's not important. Okay, guys. How about this one? When I got a hold of the son of a bitch who leaked this, when I get a hold of the son of the bitch who leaked this, I'm gonna tear his eyeballs out and I'm gonna suck his fucking skull.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's gotta be a villain, right?
Ding, 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 ding. It's a pretty famous one. You want to take a guess? Which villain?
Bill the Butcher.
The Joker.
Okay, no. Never mind. I forgot. I was talking.
I'm so bad at knowing who said
You don't know
anything.
anything about entertainment or movies, Rory. You're never
I
going nowhere.
have no memory of anything.
You go, it's Gordon Gekko from Wall Street, and
Again?
and I almost Gordon Gekko from I almost made this just Sepp Blatter, Trump, or Gordon Gekko, but I didn't. All right, let's pick.
Ooh, okay.
Let's finish it up. You've been very patient, very patient.
How about number 10?
Who has one that they're
That's a
dying
good
to
one.
ask? All right,
Number 10.
All right, we're gonna finish. Go ahead, Gary. Go ahead with number 10.
All right, Rory. Pretend this is me saying this to you. My fingers are long and beautiful, as it has been well documented are various other parts of my body.
That's Donald Trump.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard, but
Ding,
it's a
ding,
great
ding,
quote.
ding, ding.
It wasn't that hard, though.
All right, I've got one that I want to finish on, if that's okay, guys. All right, this will be the last one.
I hope it's the one that I just looked at.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with number 14. We now have 3 ladies on the board. Say something, ladies. You are always speaking at home. Say something now.
What scares me is that it's not a villain. Is it Sepp Blatter?
Yes!
Yeah,
Ding,
there
ding,
you
ding,
go.
ding, ding, ding. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. We should have 6, 7, 8 correct. You got 8 correct, and you got 4 wrong. So that's a good 66%.
Yeah, there you go.
Everyone give him a big round of applause.
thank God.
Yay.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Fun and terrifying all at the same time. Like so many things. So many of the best things. Hey, Rory, do you have any? We've got dozens of listeners. No, we got more than that. Hey, do you want to, anything you're doing that's coming up that you want to talk about real quick? Just tell people.
The biggest thing I got coming up is I'm doing a big tour in September
Yes.
to get ready to shoot another special. So it's all the dates and everything is on RoryScovel.com. But I'm up and down the West Coast and then up and down the East Coast, and maybe I'll be near some listeners.
A lot of coasts. Yeah, I know you're going to be in D.C. and New York and Brooklyn and lots of other places. So, all right. Hey, everybody, let's give Rory a big round of applause.
Hey,
thanks,
thanks,
man.
Rory.
Big round.
Thank you.
All right. And hold on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. All right. Say that again. Yeah, okay, perfect. And how many, do you just want like one or what do you want? Okay. Hey, this is Rory Scovel, and you're listening to My Fantasy Wife on your speakers or your headphones. We'll delete that one. Okay, so we got the bad one out of the way. Yeah, I'll do a straight through one. Hi, my name is Rory Scovel, and you are listening to the My Fantasy Wife podcast. On your headphones or speakers in your car, or at home and through speakers in Bluetooth. Love it. Yeah, thanks for letting me come on. I appreciate it. Are you guys, you record the rest? Okay. Yeah. For sure. Okay. I love it. All right, great. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Yep, bye.
guys. That was super fun. Join us next week when we're going to have on our special guests, comedians Tim Harmston and Mary Mack. And they'll be joining us probably to talk mostly about the Green Bay Packers. Tim's a little obsessed. And that's going to wrap us up for this week, listeners. Special thanks to our lead contributing writers, Joe Perot and Wills Maxwell, as well as contributing writers to this episode, Josh Lucas and Blair Richardson. To download all the episodes and extras we put out every week, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher or YouTube, or go to our website, myfantasywife.com, Facebook, My Fantasy Wife Podcast, follow us on Twitter at MyFantWife, Instagram at My Fantasy Wife Podcast. Thank you, Mr. Bishop, for taking us out with the jazz trumpet stylings of Mr. Al Hurt.